The Democrats keep insisting the walls are finally closing in on President Trump, but judging by last night, nobody told him. The president putting on his finest tux, and Melania looked dazzling in her gown as they hosted the annual congressional ball at the White House.
And we love the Republicans and we love the Democrats, so we love everybody else. We love everybody, especially tonight. Now, tomorrow I'll have to deny I ever said that, but that's okay. I think you could get rid of a couple of your little policies like men and women's sports, open borders, transgender for everybody. But other than that, I like what you're doing.
So Trump's clearly at the top of his game as he drives the news cycle every single day. But the Democrats' cranky Cajun thinks his presidency is over.
He's done. We just got to butter this toast and slice it and eat it. He's done. It's over. You're a loser, dude. You're losing everywhere, and you're going to lose more because you, my friend, are a loser.
Crazy Kathy Griffin says, hold my beer. She's so bored of Trump, she's waiting for him to kick the bucket.
By the time I get on stage, everybody's covered the latest crazy thing he said, and I'm just waiting for him to die. So he will die sooner than later. He's in terrible shape. He's disgusting to look at, like disgusting. And I'm not saying I'm some beauty. It's not about that. It's that because he is who he is and because he is doing what he is doing, I can't even stand to look at him.
And Rachel Maddow also thinks the Trump era is coming to a close.
It's not too late. Trump is not going to end up being the dictator of this country. And maybe you can salvage your reputation and your descendants won't spend the next several generations denying that you were one of them.
All right, quite the struggle session, Charlie Hurt. What is going on here as we enter the Christmas season?
Yeah, it's so exhausting, and it's hard to imagine. It's been going on for 10 years. For 10 years, we've been told that it's all over. He's finally done it. And you hear it from both Democrats and Republicans, obviously, because Trump has managed to completely take over the Republican Party. You mostly, almost 90%, just hear it for Democrats. But it's like, I think we'll look back at this and it will become kind of a funny little thing to remember all the times they told us that it's over with. And then you could list all of his accomplishments after this person said it's all over with. We got him right where we want him. I think what they're hoping is that they can change, turn the entire topic to talk about this affordability thing, which is, I think is that's a good topic to talk about. Of course, it's what got Donald Trump elected in the first place. The problem for Democrats is that if you want to talk about affordability, I don't know how you talk about that now at a moment after years of ignoring. How do you get worked up over 2.9% inflation after spending years of ignoring 9% inflation?
Jessica Tarlov, would you like to answer that question?
Sure. I already did earlier this week. So a bit of a doom loop here.
We can do that?
Roll the tape.
Why am I here?
When inflation was 9% in America, it was also up all over the world. Then Joe Biden handed an economy to Donald Trump where inflation was, 2.7, 2.8%. And he's kept it around there, whereas he said he was going to fix it on day one. Do we have a plan? Yes. It starts with repealing all of these tariffs. The Nonpartisan Tax Foundation just tweeted the Trump tariffs are the largest U.S. tax increase as a percent of GDP in 30 years. He is taxing you. Your life is more expensive. No, you can't. You already asked me one.
Why is the inflation rate the same if all of these tariffs are so inflationary?
What? It's the
same. You just said
no,
the last year of Joe Biden and Trump's first year were the same.
And in certain
around 3%. So if all these tariffs are so inflationary,
perfect. Can't wait. You already admitted earlier this week. Jerome Powell even was talking about it. You admitted earlier this week that the Republicans are going to lose the midterms. You said it out loud. Okay, probably.
Historically.
And literally. You also, in the read, when we were starting this, you said Trump is at the top of his game. If he were at the top of his game, the Indiana state Republicans would have approved his maps. He threatened them publicly, privately, calling, people getting bomb threats, going after individuals, and they would have succumbed to him, but they didn't. They voted against it. Now, I don't know what will happen. I saw just before we came out here that, the Republicans in Indiana have a plan or whatever, but that's clear evidence of it. You also have a change in approval amongst those who strongly approve of him. So of 2024 voters for Trump, March, 66% strongly approve. That's down to 50%, a 16% decrease in the first year of his administration. People are saying, we put you into office to lower our prices, to fix the economy, and you're building ballrooms. You're telling us we can only have 2 pencils, and that we...
Beautiful ballrooms. Let's be fair.
I am always fair. Actually, it's my main quality, my best quality. Anyway, top of his game. That's what it looks like.
Rosanna, you know, the poll that really matters is that if the election were held again today, Trump would still beat Kamala Harris.
Well, Donald Trump says we have the hottest country right now. So he didn't get the memo that everybody else is talking about. You know, what's kind of interesting is I feel like every week there's another narrative. They're trying to find one that sticks. Do you remember last week? He's so fatigued. He's showing his age. He's so tired. He's napping. This week, the dam is breaking. This is the end. Like I said, it's never done. But at some point, you have to say, the story says more about the storytellers than the subject. So they're going to keep trying to find a narrative that sticks. They haven't found it yet.
Speaking of fatigued and showing his age.
Wow.
Greg?
So unnecessary. You know, I'm going to ignore that.
Please.
Because it's Friday and it's the holiday season. And also,
You forgot.
I forgot. You know, with Trump, we're like the kid on the block with all the cool toys. We got the bike. We got the basketball court. We got the go-karts. And Jessica, she's like the kid on the block with a stick and a jar of bugs. She doesn't have a lot, but she's going to have fun with what she's got, and that's what matters.
Your imagination is what matters.
Yes, exactly. And speaking of imagination, why do you think the Democrats keep thinking the walls are closing in? My theory is it's because they're getting fatter.
Oh.
Right? So they just think the walls are coming in, but they're just getting larger and larger and larger because they're eating away the pain. You know, the big difference between us and them is when we talked about Biden during those 4 years, we were addressing real concrete things, his infirmity, the border, economy, Afghanistan, crime. But in all these crises, we never said the walls were closing in. We never said the dam is breaking. We never said he's toast. We knew better, and we weren't going to sell a lie to our viewers. We knew there was no chance the media was going to address the things we were talking about, and we knew the Dems would never succumb to common sense and get him out of office. So we just observed and reported reality. We didn't hallucinate this kind of existential explosion that our viewers so desperately wanted to hear. Rachel talking about consequences, you know, it's like Somalia complaining about illegal immigration. You know, she was the primary engine of the Russian collusion hoax, and that tore families apart, right? There were, you know, your mom or your sister would, you know, say, but Trump's a Russian asset. How can you support him? And people were really, that took a lot of mental and psychological energy out of people. And it's amazing that you can act like that never happens and make $27 million a year for 1 day of work a week while draining her network of credibility. And then lastly, you got Carville, who's a blithering reptile. He calls a guy who's won the presidency twice and brokered 8 peace deals a loser. That's like me calling someone sexy. Pot, kettle, black.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.